something good. The Phillies are on a winning pace that hasn't been seen since the 2001 Mariners, which that team set the Major League Baseball record of 116 wins in a season. So by beating the Rangers on Wednesday 11-4, they've now improved to 36-14. This isn't just the best record in baseball, but it's the best record in through 50 games in this past 24 years. So the Phillies manager, Rob Thompson, was quick to note that if you're thinking they're going to win the World Series, you should look back on what happened to the Mariners that year. They did not win that World Series that year. They lost to the Yankees in 5 games. So he was saying, hey, just because we're on some record-setting pace, we got to keep playing. We got to keep grinding. This doesn't mean anything. What do you think it means, Jimmy? Are the Phillies the team to beat this year? Can they get the World Series championship?
Well, so I think you have to be, cautious and pay attention to history. I don't think it's about winning the best regular season record. I mean, there's nothing bad in that. It's not the goal. However, the focus can get lost on trying to break the record. I remember when the Mariners were trying to do that, trying to get 116. I could see some of the slippage. They lost some of their focus just trying to beat the record, and they succumbed to the Yankees in the playoffs. So it'd be nice to get the record, but I think their focus should be on winning the World Series. And if they stay focused on doing that, and they in the interim, break the record, then that's good, that's cool, all good and dandy. But I think their focus should be on winning the World Series and not the regular season record.
Jimmy, I have coached since the time that I was in college. I coached youth soccer, and then I coached varsity soccer at the high school level, and then since I've had children, I coach football, right, pretty regularly. A lot of people know that. And so one thing that I learned in those situations is, and when I had successful teams, is I focused on we have a goal, which is to play and learn each game and improve and get better with a goal to win at the end. So It doesn't matter what happens in this game. It doesn't matter. And I think you got to stay focused. It doesn't matter how many regular season games you – dude, one of my teams pulled one of the biggest upsets in Michigan history. We had 4 wins, and we upset the number 2 ranked team in the state and district.
That's awesome.
Because the focus wasn't about we had 4 wins, 5 wins, 18 wins. It was we have a goal, and that's to win districts. And so it doesn't really matter until you get to that.
That's a perfect example. I'll give you 2 examples of that same thing. When I was coaching basketball at E-Course outside Detroit, the basketball team in E-Course, the basketball, shout out to E-Course Raiders. They haven't won a district championship in 35 years. I didn't even know that. Yeah. But my focus was getting them better. We started out 0-8, and community was losing their mind. But I stuck with it, right? Because I had to change the culture.
That's right.
And when they got it, we won district for the first time in 35 years, the same season.
There you go.
We started out 0-8. And the same thing, right? Youth sports. I coached my son when he was young, my youngest son, Malcolm. And when I would coach, it was actually the NBA. It was called the Junior NBA. And I coached the Junior NBA. We have these teams. We have this draft of all these kids. And I would never draft the top kids, because I was like, give me the kids that y'all don't pick. I'll take those guys. And we would go 0-8, 0-10, but they're young. Everybody makes the playoffs, but we would win the championship.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, it's all about, like you said, building a culture, doing the right things, the protocols, to teach them the proper way to approach the game.
You know what's
so
funny
they can be
about this is,
successful.
you know what's funny about what you just said and what I said is, and what the manager Rob Thompson said. It doesn't matter if you're 8 years old or 18 years old or 30 years old. It's the same. You got to stay focused on the end goal.
Focus.
And that's very interesting that we all have that same conclusion. It seems like the Phillies have that conclusion. So I think if they stay grounded, they might do pretty well. They might be the